Tonight we have men and women's soccer versus New Paltz and Oneonta, along with an in-depth interview with basketball star Chris Ruiz. So keep it here. You're watching Cardinal Sports Live, only on PSTV. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cardinal Sports Live. I am Jeff Beatty. Alongside me, as always, is Ariel Miller. Ariel, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I wish it wasn't raining outside.
It's raining outside?
It's raining outside.
Well, that's a little depressing. But we are here for the pick-me-up. We have great sports, and we will get it started right away. We are going to start things off tonight with soccer. And looking to reverse their Friday fortunes, the men's soccer team played host to the first-place Oneonta Red Dragons. Now, going into the game, the Cardinals were 1-2 in Friday games, and they have been outscored 5-2. So they were also looking to put the ball in the back of the net. And they did just that and in a big way. The scoring got started in the 6th minute of the game when Chris Taylor took a direct kick that Oneonta goalie Maxwell Siegelman punched out of the box. The only problem from Maxwell was it ended up going to Pat Shaughnessy, who drilled it home to give the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. That would be it for the scoring in the first half. In the 55th minute, Taylor again got a direct kick, and this time Oneonta Siegelman couldn't stop the ball and the Cardinals went up 2-0. 15 minutes went by, and in the 70th minute, the Cardinals struck yet again. This time, substitute Chad Chanette scored his first goal of the season on a ball he sent into the far corner of the Oneonta net to give the Cardinals a 3-0 lead. The scoring was capped off by another substitute, Jared Antonucci, who scored on a breakaway with just under 6 minutes remaining in the game. The Cardinals went on to win the game 4-0 to bring their overall record to 9-2-1 and 3-2 in the conference. And Andy Hayington was in the net for the Cardinals, and he recorded yet again another shutout on the year. The loss brings Oneonta's overall record to 7-3-2 and their conference record to 4-2. So, great way for the men's team to kick off a homestand.
And for number one seeded Oneonta. Good job.
In the conference. So, I mean, good. And Coach Waterbury was saying how he wanted the pace in the first 15 minutes of the game to be picked up, and sure enough, there it was.
Yeah, once you get the momentum, you get that first goal, it's easy to keep going.
4 goals in the back of the net. But we also will now move on to Saturday's contest. The Saturday game was against SUNY New Paltz, and this game had 3 different meanings to it for the men's soccer team. Not only were they looking for a weekend sweep, but it was also their final home conference game on the season, and with 2 assists, Chris Taylor would become the all-time career assist leader for the Cardinals. Now, first to the game. Plattsburgh State was riding high after their 4-0 victory on Friday over the first-place Oneonta Red Dragons. SUNY New Paltz was looking to stop their momentum in the SUNY conference game. Unfortunately, New Paltz didn't fare much better than Oneonta. The scoring got started off in the 28th minute. Chris Taylor took a direct kick that went towards the far side of the net, and that's where it found the head of teammate Matt Martin, who scored his first goal of the season to give the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. The score would remain 1-0 going into the half. Pat Shaughnessy made it 2 goals in 2 days when he scored in the 59th minute to make it 2-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Shaughnessy sent a low shot into the net after receiving the ball from teammate Mike Payne's cross. With the game winding down and Chris Taylor still needing 1 assist shy of holding the school record, Taylor sent a direct kick from midfield towards the New Paltz goal. And that's where teammate Matt Hamilton was at the right place at the right time. Hamilton flicked the ball past New Paltz Connor Power to give the Cardinals a 3-0 lead with just over 3.5 minutes to go. The goal was also Chris Taylor's 33rd career assist, which gives him the career assist record. Now he passes Rich King, who held the record since 1996, with 32 assists. Andy Hayington played another great game in goal and recorded the shutout, stopping 6 shots. Power made 6 saves as well for New Paltz, and Plattsburgh's overall record is now 10-2-1 and 4-2 in conference play. New Paltz falls to 6-7 overall and 3-4 in the conference. So, congratulations to Chris Taylor to now is the record holder for career assists for Plattsburgh State.
And 2 wins on a weekend. It's not like the rest of the weeks where it's been like they would lose the first game and pick up and win the second game. So 2 wins. Good job.
Yeah, and it's great they can. It's not their final home game. They still have one to come up against St. Lawrence University.
But it's non-conference, right?
But it's going to be non-conference, and it was great for them to sweep the last 2 conference games of the season.
15.
But we are going to take a quick break, but keep it right here, and we will have some more game summaries, and of course that great interview with Chris Ruiz.
Welcome back to Cardinal Sports Live. Well, it wasn't another weekend of doubleheaders for the women's soccer team, and the first stop was Oneonta. The Red Dragons came into the game with an 8-3-1 record, with their last game being a loss, so as always, they were determined to get a win. But Plattsburgh came out strong and scored first with a gorgeous shot over the goalie's head and into the net by Lindsay Kaiser, her 4th from the top of the box this season. But the Cardinals couldn't keep up their energy or the lead. Oneonta tacked on 2 goals within a minute and 52 seconds. But in Plattsburgh fashion, the team came back and tied the game with a goal by Liz Radigan, assisted by Kayla Radib, who picked up the 3rd assist on her season. But in the second overtime, the Cardinals couldn't hold on, losing 3-2. So it kind of seemed like it was regular fashion for the girls' soccer team.
Get off to the fast start, and then they ended up
couldn't keep up the energy.
Yeah, and having to come back and then losing heartbreak again in overtime. So, I mean, they have had that happen before, but
it seems to happen each week, and they seem to bounce back.
They usually bounce back, and they had another game. Yeah,
they did. So. All right, well, the women's soccer team found a way to bounce back. With the overtime loss to Oneonta behind them, the team put up a strong fight and beat SUNY New Paltz 1-0. The Cardinals held on 10-2 shot advantage in the scoreless half. But in the second, Christy Pagoo got her chance with an across-the-field kick by Emily Riley. Pagoo tapped it in for the lone goal of the game. Coach Waterbury says it was an ugly win, but a win is a win, and the girls played their hearts out. With this win, the Cardinals improved to 9-2-1 overall, and luckily for the women's team, the rest of their regular season games are at home beginning tomorrow. So like we said before, they always seem a way to bounce back and win that second game.
And they did that, and of course 1-0. But hey, it's not how many goals you score. And as you mentioned, they're home this weekend for 2 games against Buffalo State and Fredonia.
The rest of their season games are all home.
Oh,
yeah.
Go out and support them.
Go out and support.
I've said it before. I'll keep saying it. You get in for free.
Go support. They need the support. They're doing a great job.
And conference schedule winding down. Got to get the number 1 seed, and so they can be home again and again.
They're
that way you get to see more games for free. So.
All right. Well, we have to take a break right now, but stay tuned. Coming up next, we have an interview with basketball star Chris Ruiz. Welcome back. As the semester starts to fly by, that can only mean one thing. Cardinal basketball is back. Practices start this week as both the men and women's teams start to get ready for their season openers. On the men's side, they have 4 starters returning, including senior Chris Ruiz. Now we go to Peter Taff, who sat down with Ruiz to discuss the upcoming season.
Hello, and now I'm joined by Chris Ruiz, member of the Plattsburgh State men's basketball team. Chris, thank you for joining us. This season, you come with high expectations. You were ranked 21st in the nation by D3 News after finishing last season at 21-8. You won the SUNYAC regular season. You won the tournament title. You entered the NCAA tournament for the 4th time in the last 5 years. How do you plan on raising the bar after such a successful season last year?
Coach couldn't have said it better last year. We're always going to stay hungry. And, now that we've, accomplished the SUNYACs, the NCAAs, now, we're aiming for the biggest goal we can, and that's the national championship. But with this team we got this year, I think we have a real good chance at getting it, just as long as we work hard and, everybody puts in the effort, and we're going to go get that.
Now, do you feel like there's a target on your back after last season's success and being the only SUNYAC school coming to the season ranked in the preseason polls?
We definitely have a target on our back, definitely. Every SUNYAC school is coming after us. Every time we play against them, when they come to our home, they're going to bring their 100% just because they know that we are the top team in the SUNYAC as of now. And on paper, it looks good, but once you're on the floor, it's a whole different ball game, and, anything can happen. We've seen it being done before. It's upsets always, and, why not upset us? So, every time a team comes our back with their target, we have to give it 100% and make sure, we never fail with our goal to beat them as well.
Stats look great on paper, but at the end of the season, you're still not playing. It doesn't really do too much good for you.
Definitely.
Now, what are your specific goals, not only personal goals, but team goals coming to this season? Like you said, the national championship. Do you have any specific personal goals? I mean, you're already an All-American, first SUNYAC selection.
Accolades are always a privilege, but if you don't win, then, accolades are definitely hard to come by. But when the season starts, everybody's always talking about, oh, we're going to get first team this, second team that. But, once we're in the season flow, all you're thinking about is winning and just, everybody has the same goal and everybody wants to share the same goal. So we never think about accolades. Like, everybody always, looks at the stats and stuff, but when it comes down to it, everybody wants the same goal, which is to get that win. So as long as everybody has the mindset to get the win, all the other accolades will come with it. So once you get those wins, awards come to follow, which is why we've been so successful the last couple of years.
We always want those accolades, but when the games come, they get put on the back burner, team first, which is always what you want, which is how you guys were so successful last year playing together. Now you have 4 stars returning, including yourself, Steve Thomas, Carl Mullen, and Errol Danian, who account for 90% of your team scoring last year and 82% of your rebounding as an entire team. How do you feel coming back with these guys and getting to play another season with all 4 of them?
Oh, it's going to be amazing. I mean, us 4 on the court together, who knows what could happen. We got Errol, who's a huge factor down low, and, he's going to get double-teamed a lot, which is going to result in kickouts for Carl, who's an outstanding three-point shooter. Steve is just a born scorer. He can score, drive into the basket, hit the mid-range pull-up. And, I'm just a big guard, with my frame at 6'4", I can play on the wing, I can post up smaller guards. So we just have, a lot of ranges to score and, mismatches all around. We just, have to step it up a notch now, step it up a level if you really want to get to that next goal, which is the national championship.
I remember watching last season, Marlon always seemed to be the spark plug for your offense. Pushing up the floor quickly, kicking out to you or looking down low for Errol Danian, and that was extremely successful for you guys last season. Now, after playing St. Lawrence away on November 30th, you have 6 straight home games. How vital is it to get off to a strong start, especially this season?
I mean, it's always great when you have a home game, and with the town of Plattsburgh, with their support, it's a great community. The way, they support their sports teams, and you don't see that as much, when school's out, especially when all the kids go home, and, you don't have that much support of student staff because of our home games is during the break. But, we're going to see how that goes. But, even though it is great to have those 6 straight home games, it is always great to have that home crowd, that home feeling, and they're always a 6th man on the court, but we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure we'll live up to the hype.
You should have a great turnout, this season, especially last season you averaged between 450 and 500 in attendance. And then, of course, at the end of the year versus SUNY, you had over 1,000 in attendance. And, like you said, home field advantage, home court, home crowd, you can't beat that.
Definitely, always.
Now, meanwhile, on the other side, you have 7 out of your 10 last games away. Now, how do you think that will affect your team plays down the stretch, seeing how you went 7-5 on the road last season as a team?
That's just going to bring us more together. Last year, we had a little of miscommunication. We kind of fell a little bit. We weren't focused. We came back from winter break not in the best shape we could have been in. But those are mistakes that you can always correct. Those mistakes will always be something that a lot of teams will always have. But our goal this year is to not to let that happen again. We did it last year. Now we learn from it, and just correct those areas. But I'm pretty sure this year we'll be prepared for that winter break and for those away games that are coming up.
And now, as you can see, he is just as anxious to start the basketball season as all of us are here. Now, last year they had such a great year, going 21-8 and earning another berth in the NCAA tournament. But we are going to take another break, but when we come back, we have the rest of the interview right after this.